Morning.
Morning.
Thank you for your patience, and hope you enjoyed our meeting thus far.
Yeah.
If you'd like to introduce yourselves, you may continue.
Jay Rhoads, I'm the facilitator at the Lebanon County Fire Training Center.
William Kale, President, Lebanon County Firefighters Association.
Lee Spencer, First Vice President, Lebanon County Firefighters Association.
Welcome. Glad to have you
sir.
here. And I'm not sure what order you want to speak in, or if there's whatever you guys want to do is in presenting is fine.
You want to go on? You know
All right.
about tonight.
What we had handed you was pretty much our expenditures for the year starting from November 1st, 2020 to October 31st of 2021. Just to give you an idea of what it's costing the association to run the training center just for basically 1 year. The improvements that we've been doing down there, slow improvements, because one of the things is, as an association, the limited funding, we could only do a little bit of projects at a time. So basically that's what our budget is for the year. I know we utilize, the county, you donated money to us so we want to show you where our expenditures are. For the improvements of next year that I'm trying to work on for next year is a building for a rehab pavilion. Basically that way there, once we're in the Class A burn building that we utilize down there, we could keep the students, closer to the building and rehab. So that way there we could utilize the time. We don't have to chase them down, because right now we chase them down to where our engine is parked, and then we have to drag them back up. So that's throughout the day, it's a longer period of time that we got to chase the students, get them back and get them ready. So we're looking at putting a pavilion closer to the area that we work in all the time. That's a project that we're working on. Natural gas, I would like to go green. So that's been a project I've been working on with UGI since when?
About a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so that's a long project too. So what I'm trying to do is get natural gas into the training center so I could cut down on,
Fossil fuels.
basically, yeah, burning skids. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster, and we could utilize their time a lot better than, anybody that ever lights a fire, you put water on it, it takes a long time to get it back up and running. That's where we're at right now. So we're trying to go green and, like I said, get the gas in there and utilize more gas props. And just new equipment and appliances that we need to get for future training. So that's where we're looking at, and I try to stay up on all that stuff. A lot of this stuff here that you see on the list is repeated throughout the year, because by NFPA standards, we got to get our compressor tested every year. So that way there we have certified breathing air. Ladders get tested, and as hose goes, we replace the hose as frequently as possible, but as it blows, we just throw it away. So there's always a maintenance cost that we utilize down there. Hydrant systems, we've been trying to stay up on the hydrants. They're failing, they're old. So that's why you see hydrants being replaced down there. Working with A.H. Moyer down in Myerstown, we're getting used hydrants, because a new hydrant's like $5,000 to $6,000. So we ain't got that kind of money in our budget. So we try to work with them, and they give us somebody else's used parts, I guess you could say. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'll try to answer as best I can.
Do you mind if I just, for Commissioner Ames's sake, he's on the phone here, and to just put it into perspective in terms of what the county, you referred to the county's contribution, but we didn't really talk about any numbers. So, Bill, what the list here is showing is $30,902 that they have in annual expenses. The county's allocation has been for a long time, as you guys know, $15,000 a year. You requested an increase for 2022 to $20,000. The commissioners have included that in their proposed budget, so that extra $5,000 is in there. Of note recently, which is kind of what maybe has
Stirred the pot, yeah.
what precipitated a lot of this is that the Water Authority, or the Lebanon Authority, has in an effort to try to cut down their water loss across their entire system, mandated that the hookup of water to the fire training center be split from the CTC school. It was all together, it flowed through, it was unmetered, it was, I'm just want to educate everybody on that. So that was changed, I think, when was
A year and
that?
a half ago, I think, was
Yeah, that was, and the county covered the cost of that installation.
installation of the
For
pit
the,
and
for the
everything.
meter base and the pit and all those things. What that has resulted in is a new water bill, and a water bill that, you guys hadn't seen before. And despite pleading with the authority a bit by a number of people,
Fell on deaf ears.
they are saying that they have a lot of water loss and they need to do this, and until they can get a handle on that, they're not giving out any free water. So,
No,
even, hopefully, I was hoping for the first responders training, they would do that, but they're taking a pretty hard line on it, which is their prerogative to do. So I just wanted to kind of paint the picture a little bit,
Well,
so you guys are,
the number on the bottom there, it doesn't
If you look at,
reflect the cost.
I don't see the
Because
water
the
on
cost
this.
of the water usage we kind of sat down with the CTC and sort of worked up a plan that we'll pay for the water we use at the fire school. And that didn't sit well with the CTC because they have to answer the schools, the different schools that go down, the kids, send the kids down there. So we were gonna pay for the water, but then the school would pick up the maintenance part. That's the big thing is the maintenance on the water lines down there, which the Water Authority they haven't done any maintenance on the water lines whatsoever since they put them in. If we have a break in the line, we're stuck with the bill for it.
yeah, their
And
basic,
that's
basic
higher than the
fee,
water usage.
yeah, their basic fee, starting out when this all started was, once we seen the bill, was $1,054. That didn't include the water.
Right.
That's just to have the hydrants there. But then when, then I guess halfway through the year, they increased it, dropped the water cost, then increased the basic
Maintenance,
fee
yeah.
to over $2,000.
Now, to be fair to the authority, I think anything beyond the hookup, the curb, is the customers, right? I mean, they wouldn't have typically maintained those lines on the grounds of the CTC school.
I guess that's considered a private
I think so. I think it's-
Private
loop in there.
Yeah, I mean, courthouse, anything from the curb hookup to the building
Yeah.
would be us too, so I just don't wanna make it, I'm not trying to,
They have a separate line down there. They have a
Or we can't
2-inch
do
line
farming.
that goes into the school, and then they have an 8-inch line that serves the hydrants at the school, which they need. And then it loops around and comes back down to the fire school grounds.
and I wasn't trying to make this all about the water, I was just,
Right, right.
that
No, but
is-
that kind of
is
hit us
kind of
with
brought this to
that
the
kind of hit us in the
surface.
face.
Yeah, so that's, like you said, it definitely was something hard to swallow because of working with the budgets, but like you said, it's one of those things where we're gonna try hard, and hopefully that, somebody could, if they lifted the maintenance fee, that would be, or the charge of this fire stem, lifted that, water wouldn't be an issue. Water's the cheap part.
I think the water came to like $6,000 for the year, and the maintenance on it, it was close to $18,000 to $20,000. Our share of the cost for that.
Yeah.
Now, the fire school does flush their hydrants twice a year. No, the CTC. And they go out and check the meter before they flush it, and then check it afterwards and see how much they're using. The rest of it goes into the fire school, because there's only one meter on it.
This is tough. Because of
Yeah,
the global coverage that you give for the whole county, this is training throughout the county, and it's tough for you guys to also have budget issues. That's the rub from you as a commissioner, and you guys are doing your volunteerism and recruiting people and then getting them trained, and so that they can protect our homes and businesses, and then you got to deal with budget challenges. That's tough.
I know that you have been doing a little bit of homework on usage, especially now that you can monitor it pretty closely. Have you talked with the departments using it for training, or their host municipalities? I mean, that's always an avenue, I
We
guess.
send out a line of communications to all the fire companies involved.
Anybody that's down there
And-
utilizing
and-
water for training, for large amounts, it doesn't matter. If they'll call me and say, we use 200 gallons of water, or we use 5,500 gallons of water one night in training. So, like I said, I've been keeping track of that here since this all started, so I don't have my book with, but I could probably tell you with all the training and everybody that has been down there using the water since this, I would say August, when we got hit with this, we probably used definitely 1 million gallons of water so far, because with the classes that we hold, it takes water. So it's one of those things where it's you know, you can't fight fire without water. You can't train firefighters without water. So, and we just got to keep upgrading this training center. We're falling behind majorly, you know, at a training site. You know, we used to be one of the premier training sites in the state, but now we're falling behind because of, you know, with everything that's going on. So we got to push forward and stay on top. So there's so many things that we should be, you know, far ahead of things on, but we just can't, you know, with a budget like this, we cannot afford that. So this is why we're just letting you know that, you know, we're trying our hardest to go forward this training site to keep everybody in the county trained 100%. But in the next aspect of it is, it's like when they want specialized training, they'll call me and they say, well, go here or here. So we lose out on a lot of this stuff. We're sending our people and a lot of departments in the county either to Lancaster, Hack, York, Westchester for, you know, for especially for large area structures. And that's high-rise buildings. We do not have a high-rise building, which is one of the things that I would love to push forward in the near future would be a 4-story burn building. So that's my major goal is to put another building down there 4 stories.
To burn in.
Yeah.
We have a tower down there, but it's just for rappelling and stuff.
Yeah, that is just a training drill tower. So we do get a lot of departments on the outside of the county that come in to do that. PSP comes in there. They do a lot of, I think twice a year, they do their rappelling off the drill tower. So.
Commissioner Litz.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate the difficult situation all volunteer fire companies are in, and appreciate everything you do for us. I mean, I've experienced 2 fires in my life, so I know how invaluable your service is. And as commissioners, we certainly, even though it's not our charge, each municipality is in charge of fire, not the county, we try and step up. And in addition to the burn building, this year, coming up, we will be allocating hundreds, if not millions of dollars, $1 million, for the radio system and giving all the fire companies new radios so you guys don't have to raise the money to purchase those. And also, when the 911 center is completed, you will have access to that for indoor training, like in the winter. That can cut down on some of your heat bills, perhaps, that you could utilize that for some training where it's not involving the water, if that makes any sense. But I just hope that our efforts are not unnoticed, because we have really tried to support fire companies in this community and continue to do so, and with an open heart. So I just wanted to share that to make sure we had all the cards on the table, if that makes any sense. Thank you.
Commissioner Ames?
Yes.
I'm
I
sorry.
just want to say that I definitely appreciate the efforts that these guys put into this, and you know, just like at every turn. I mean, we heard about it this morning. These things cost too much, and you know, where do we draw the line? We tried to you know, expand how we're helping the fire school with the additional water charges and so on, and those things all add up and go into the total bill, which is our responsibility to cover. So we do the very best we can, and Lee, you're a good man. Appreciate everything you do.
I'm praying for you, Bill. Get over that COVID.
Thank you.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you. Anything else? Thank you for the update.
I think all 3 commissioners are doing a fabulous job.
Yeah, we're trying
thank you,
to
Lee.
figure out how to balance it all out, but
We
It's a
realize
tough
it,
job.
it's very tough. We do.
so,
And he does a pretty good job, too.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay, thank you.